The story begins with Kim, a YouTuber who is always searching for strange and mysterious stories. She learns that several unexplained disappearances and deaths have taken place at a nearby railway station. Hoping to create YouTube videos about these incidents and earn some money, she decides to investigate. Kim visits the station master and asks him to tell her about the mysterious events. At first, the station master refuses because he believes these stories are dangerous. However, Kim keeps persuading him until he finally agrees to share one of the stories. He begins by telling her about a college student who had recently started attending college. After joining, the student fell in with the wrong crowd and slowly developed several bad habits. Eventually, the student became addicted to drugs and often harassed other passengers. Every day, the student traveled through the same railway station by train. One day, while under the influence, the student noticed a young woman repeatedly smashing her head against the train wall as if trying to hurt herself. The sight was unsettling, but the student chose to ignore it and got off when the train reached the destination. The next day, the exact same woman appeared in the same place, repeating the same disturbing action. Once again, the student ignored her, but the strange scene continued every single day for an entire week. Whenever the student boarded the train, the mysterious woman was always there, behaving in exactly the same way. One day, the train was almost empty, yet the woman was still standing there. At that moment, the student realized something was terribly wrong. Suddenly, the student's phone rang with a notification. It contained CCTV footage showing a young woman taking her own life. To the student's horror, the woman in the video was the same mysterious passenger seen on the train every day. What shocked the student even more was the date of the recording. The incident had happened a month earlier. Before the student could react or move to another compartment, the mysterious woman suddenly appeared right in front of them. The student collapsed in fear. A loud thud echoed nearby. When the student looked up, a severed head was lying on the floor. Terrified, the student tried to escape, but the ghost attacked. Suddenly, the student woke up inside the train. Relieved, the student believed everything had only been a nightmare. However, after getting off the train, the student noticed the exact location where the woman had died. While staring at the spot in shock, the student sensed someone standing behind them. Without turning around, the student already knew who it was. The ghost appeared once again and dragged the terrified student away. That is how the first story comes to an end. Kim is fascinated by the story and uploads it to her YouTube channel. Unfortunately, even after publishing the video, she gains very few views and subscribers. Meanwhile, another woman at her office, who already has over 1 million subscribers, mocks her and says she will never succeed. Her words deeply hurt Kim. Determined to prove everyone wrong, Kim promises herself that she will work harder and grow her channel. She returns to the station master and asks for another mysterious story. Although he is reluctant, he feels sorry after seeing her determination and agrees to tell one more tale. This time, the story is about a college girl who has no friends. Nobody ever tells her why they avoid her. She believes the reason is her nose and becomes extremely insecure about her appearance. She dreams of getting cosmetic surgery but cannot afford it. One day, while riding the train, she meets one of her classmates. She hopes they can become friends. However, she soon realizes the classmate only sees her as an ordinary acquaintance. Her insecurity grows even stronger. During the journey, she notices a strange passenger whose face is covered with bandages. The mysterious woman appears to have no nose. The college girl pays little attention to her. However, the bandaged woman keeps staring at her. After the college girl gets off the train, the mysterious woman quietly follows her. She suddenly says, "Your nose is so beautiful." The comment makes the girl feel uneasy. When she turns around, she is horrified to discover that the woman has no nose at all. The stranger then asks, "Will you give me your nose?" Frightened, the college girl quickly pulls out her phone and starts recording. She hopes the camera will capture the strange woman. But when she checks the recording, the mysterious figure is nowhere to be seen. She realizes she is dealing with a ghost. Panicking, she runs away and hides inside a restroom. She desperately calls her friends and family for help. Unfortunately, no one answers in time. Moments later, the ghost appears inside the restroom and attacks her. The girl loses her life there. And with that, the second terrifying story comes to an end. Kim is fascinated by this story as well. She realizes it has another advantage. A few years earlier, the news had reported the death of a student inside the station restroom. Because the incident was based on a real news report, people were more likely to believe the story. Kim knew this would attract more views and subscribers. To make the video even more engaging, she dressed in a horror-themed outfit and went to the station to film it herself. After uploading the video, it quickly went viral. Her channel gained a huge number of views, helping her reach her subscriber goal. She also began earning money from her content. However, the more successful she became, the more stories she needed. That desire brought her back to the station master once again. This time, he told her the story of a man whose life had completely fallen apart. The man had borrowed money from many people and eventually lost both his home and his business. With nowhere else to go, he started living at the railway station. Even then, the moneylenders continued to chase him and took away every coin he managed to collect. As a result, he often had nothing left to buy food. One day, he found himself in the same miserable situation. He had only a single coin and was desperately hungry. Unfortunately, one coin was not enough to buy anything. While wandering around the station, he noticed a well-dressed man standing on the opposite platform. The sight made him even more frustrated with his own life. Filled with anger, he began shouting loudly. Suddenly, he heard a strange sound behind him. When he turned around, he saw a vending machine machine. A message on the machine read, "1 coin for 1 drink." Surprised, he immediately inserted his last coin. The moment he did, a loud scream echoed from the opposite platform. Ignoring the sound because of his hunger, he waited for the drink. The machine dispensed a cold drink, but when he opened the can, it was completely empty. Confused, he threw the empty can onto the ground. It rolled across the platform and stopped near the well-dressed man's clothes. To his shock, the man had vanished. Only his clothes and wallet remained. Without thinking much about what had happened, the homeless man picked up the wallet. Inside, he found a large amount of money. Delighted, he changed into the man's clothes and used the money to enjoy a proper meal. The next day, he became hungry once again. As he wandered through the station, the mysterious vending machine appeared before him again. He bought another drink. At that very moment, one of the people he owed money to appeared nearby. The man was frightened and quickly opened the can. Just like before, it was empty. The instant the can was opened, the other man screamed and suddenly disappeared. Only his clothes were left behind. The homeless man finally realized that the vending machine was cursed. Anyone standing nearby when one of its cans was opened would mysteriously vanish. Instead of trying to stop the curse, he decided to use it for his own benefit. Every night, he lured victims to the station. He opened the cursed cans near them, causing them to disappear. Afterward, he stole their money and belongings. He spent the stolen money on food and a luxurious lifestyle. Slowly, his life improved, and he became wealthy. Even then, his greed continued to grow. One day, while searching for another victim, he arrived at the opposite platform. There, he saw a familiar figure. It was his own past self, standing exactly where he had once been. He watched as his younger self prepared to open the very first cursed can. In that moment, he finally understood the truth. The first victim had never been a stranger. It had always been his future self. The curse had trapped him in an endless time loop. As soon as his past self opened the can, his present self disappeared. This meant that every cycle began with his younger self unknowingly destroying his future self. After enjoying wealth for a short time, the cycle repeated again and again. That is how the terrifying story came to an end. Kim loved the story and uploaded it to her channel. The video performed extremely well and brought in a large number of new subscribers. When she returned to the office, her co-workers surprised her with a celebration. She was overwhelmed with happiness. Meanwhile, Lena, the creator with over 1 million subscribers, quietly watched everything. Seeing all the attention Kim was receiving made her feel jealous because no one had ever celebrated her achievements that way. For a while, Kim enjoyed watching her views rise every day. She spent hours reading the comments from her viewers. One day, however, she noticed a strange comment appearing under every video. A mysterious girl repeatedly wrote the same warning. She said, "Delete these videos. They are cursed. That station is cursed, and these stories should never be shared. If you don't believe me, come and meet me." After seeing so many similar comments, Kim becomes uneasy and decides to meet the mysterious girl. The girl meets Kim at a restaurant. She appears frightened and keeps her face completely covered. She tells Kim that the place is not just an ordinary railway station. According to her, it is a gateway to hell. She explains that many years ago, a dangerous cult existed there. The members of the cult worshipped Satan and performed dark rituals. Their leader forced them to offer sacrifices in the name of their beliefs. One day, under the leader's orders, all of the cult members ended their own lives. People believe their restless spirits still wander around the station. Later, when the railway station was built on that land, strange incidents began happening. Anyone who stayed there for too long became a target of the evil spirits. The girl begs Kim to delete every video she has made about the station. She warns that if more people watch the videos, more visitors will come to the station and unknowingly place themselves in danger. Then she reveals a terrifying truth. She says that she herself has already become a victim of those dark forces. At first, Kim finds the story hard to believe. However, a frightening shadow suddenly appears nearby, making it seem as though the girl is telling the truth. Terrified, the girl runs away. Kim sees nothing behind her and is left confused. Still troubled by the warning, Kim returns to the station master's office. She begins wondering whether she should delete her videos and give up her channel. While thinking about it, she notices someone she likes talking happily with another Uber driver. Watching them grow closer fills her with jealousy. Driven by her emotions, Kim decides she will expand her channel and reach 1 million subscribers. She returns to the station master and asks him for another story. The station master warns her once again. He tells her that she has already earned enough money and gained plenty of recognition. He advises her to leave the station behind before something terrible happens, but Kim refuses to listen. Seeing that she will not change her mind, the station master begins another story. This time, it is about a woman who is also a YouTuber. Then comes a shocking revelation. The woman in the story is actually Lena. Without Kim ever knowing, Lena had been visiting the station every day to record videos for her channel. One day while filming, she accidentally touched a strange object. The moment she touched it, she felt intense pain. A wound appeared on her hand and it slowly became infected. As time passed, the infection spread throughout her body. Sometimes her hand would bleed. At other times, she suffered from high fever. Eventually, blood even began coming from her nose and mouth. Despite all of this, Lena ignored the warning signs. She cared only about growing her YouTube channel. Every visit to the station brought her more views and subscribers. Because of that success, she refused to stop making videos there. She became completely obsessed with her channel and even treated Kim poorly. When her condition became unbearable, she finally went to a doctor. Even the doctors could not identify the illness. One morning, she woke up and saw flowers growing from the wounds on her hand. Moments later, the flowers transformed into long vines. The vines spread rapidly across her body. In the end, the mysterious growth took her life. After hearing the story, Kim is not impressed enough to upload it. She wants something far more shocking that can instantly make her channel explode in popularity. Then she remembers the mysterious girl's story about the station and the cult. She asks the station master whether that story is actually true. The station master looks at her silently before revealing another terrifying secret. He tells her that the cult's leader is still somewhere inside the station. He says that if she truly wants to meet him and record a video, she should come to the station at exactly 3 hours in the morning. Kim's greed grows even stronger. She believes that filming the mysterious cult leader will make her an overnight sensation. While Kim is speaking with the station master, several police officers arrive. They begin asking questions about her videos. Kim's friend asks the officers what is happening. The officers explain that the voice heard in Kim's videos belongs to the station master. According to their records, the station master has been missing for years. The scene then shifts to Kim as she searches the station for him. Despite looking everywhere, she cannot find him. As she walks through the station, she hears static coming from a walkie-talkie. She picks it up. To her surprise, the station master's voice comes through the device. He tells her that from the very first day they met, he knew she would eventually reach this point. He says that the next story will show her what real horror truly looks like. The station master begins his final tale. He explains that the story is about himself and a co-worker who were assigned to the station years ago. After arriving there, many people constantly approached them with strange stories about the station. At first, neither of them believed any of the rumors. Then one day, while monitoring the CCTV cameras during his shift, he noticed someone standing near one of the train tunnels. The station master continues his story. He says he first thought the person near the tunnel was just a YouTuber because the station was usually deserted, especially late at night. To be safe, he sent his co-worker to investigate. Several hours passed, but his co-worker never returned. Growing worried, the station master grabbed his walkie-talkie and headed toward the tunnel to search for him. When he arrived, he found a train standing silently on the tracks with its lights still on. Curious, he stepped inside. The moment he entered, the train doors slammed shut. Almost instantly, the train burst into flames. He fell to the floor in fear, unable to understand what was happening. Just then, a voice came through the walkie-talkie. It was his co-worker. The co-worker said, "I can see you. I'm coming to help." Hearing those words gave the station master a brief sense of hope. Moments later, the train came to a stop. As he prepared to step outside, something horrifying appeared at the door. Floating in front of the window was a human face. When he looked closer, he realized it was his own face. There was no body attached to it. It looked as if an unseen force was holding it against the glass. The terrifying sight left him frozen with fear. He then realized the truth. The dark spirits haunting the station had already taken his life. His soul had become trapped inside the cursed train. The station master explains that although his body died that day, his spirit remained imprisoned within the station. Unable to escape, he searched for someone who could take his place. That was why he had been telling Kim all of those terrifying stories. He had slowly lured her into the station. Now his plan was finally complete. In the next moment, his spirit leaves the train and enters Kim's body. At the same time, Kim's soul becomes trapped inside the cursed train. She desperately screams for help. Soon she realizes that her friend has arrived to rescue her. She keeps calling out to him. However, he cannot hear or see her trapped spirit. Instead, he only sees Kim's body walking toward him. What he does not realize is that the person inside that body is no longer Kim. It is the station master's spirit. Having finally escaped the station, he sets out to lure more innocent people there. His goal is to claim more victims and add them to the cursed souls connected to the station. With this chilling twist, the movie comes to a terrifying end.